Welcome to The Know, I'm Ashley.
And I'm Gus.
Hey, if you got some tough words to throw at Bethesda, and people seem to be finding an awful lot of those words these days, hey, think again, because it turns out the company says they're not gonna let fans dictate the decisions that they're gonna make.
So does that mean Creation Club's here to stay? Before you get too riled up, it should be noted the company was actually making these comments in regards to their development cycle and their creative vision rather than when fans are upset about one of their decisions.
Although maybe potentially poor timing considering that that's the feedback they're getting from fans at the moment.
Plus, players are upset about a brand new paid mod for Skyrim. But first, the comments which came from a recent interview between Bethesda PR and Marketing VP Pete Hines and Games Radar, where they discussed the studio's current slate of projects and what's next on their plate.
So in particular, Hines spoke to the fan outrage cycle that starts up every time Bethesda announces a new project, because inevitably gamers think they should be working on something from one of their favorite franchises like Fallout or the Elder Scrolls series. He's not wrong. Every time they make an announcement, I'm like, yeah, but it's not Elder Scrolls. Plus, fans tend to have a particular way of voicing what they think should be the next game, and sometimes it can be a bit loud.
About those two ideas, Hines said, unless it's the exact thing that they're all asking for, then yeah, you're going to run into some amount of that. We're aware of it, but we're not going to let it define what we do. Ultimately, we're going to try and do the things that we think are the best for the games that we're making, because that's honestly all I can really control.
Of course, that's not to say that the company doesn't feel the pressure when fans are all clamoring for the same thing, which we do admittedly tend to do. Hines went on to talk about how he went to Bethesda Game Studios director Todd Howard to beg him for a scrap of anything regarding the Elder Scrolls 6 several E3s back, because he knew the fans would be wanting to know something about the path for the next game in the series, and that there was a need to start managing some of those expectations that otherwise we'll all build ourselves.
Yep, and as we all know, that never quite shook out, and we're still waiting on more about the Elder Scrolls 6. I mean, now that was kind of confirmation about it, right? That he was asking about it a few years ago?
Well, yeah, I mean, they've said that they're working on it, but they're not going to officially announce it. They're not going to say anything until it's pretty close to release. They saw pretty good success with that with Fallout 4, yeah, honestly, so I would expect that model to continue.
Come on. It's been 6 years since Skyrim.
6 years.
We're counting.
But hey, it's about to hit the Switch.
According to Hines, the studio needs that time in order to produce something truly special, and that fans should be really more patient and let studios operate how they see fit.
He goes on to say, the development teams aren't just a vending machine where you press for the soda and they go back and forth. They want to be able to stretch their legs creatively or try a new idea or do something different and not just fall into the same pattern.
Oh, so trying something creative and new, like another edition of Skyrim? Yay!
Yeah, but let's be like, that probably takes a smaller team. You get the port going. That's at least not their hundreds of developers all working on that one thing. Come on. Although there are a lot of Switches, there are a lot of versions of Skyrim on a lot of platforms now.
Yes.
So now, look, even though he's talking about the nature of development rather than policies that upset gamers, like Creation Club, these still don't come at a very opportune time for the studio when they're facing a lot of mounting criticism over some of their recent decisions.
At the moment, gamers have turned their crosshairs on Bethesda over a couple of PR snafus, the biggest of which would probably be the reintroduction of paid mods in the form of Creation Club.
I'm sorry, they're mini DLCs, Gus.
Forgive me. Since those launched late last month, players have been review bombing the game into an overwhelmingly negative wasteland, citing the Creation Club as their reason for doing so.
Oh man. The Creation Club page just went live for Skyrim this week as well, so we can probably expect more of the same for that series. With that news came another sore spot for fans, because the just announced Skyrim survival mode is actually part of the Creation Club 2 and costs nearly $10.
Players got a bit upset about that, especially since many have been playing fan-made survival mods for years for free. But now Bethesda has announced the mode, which adds hunger, afflictions, diseases, freezing water, all the fun stuff, no health regeneration. It's only 800 credits, conveniently located just outside of the cheapest tier of credits offered on the marketplace, which is $750 for $8.
So I get it. So you have to buy basically that next set, and then you're like, well, I've got these extra credits laying around, better get something else.
Yep.
A Reddit thread about the survival mode hit the front page of the games subreddit yesterday with nearly 3,000 upvotes, and for the games subreddit, that's a lot of upvotes. Lots of angry comments as well. The general consensus being that this isn't the most player-friendly move from Bethesda.
But I mean, they're just trying to stretch their creative legs, right? Right?
Well, it's like Valve, right? They're only going to work on the projects they really want to.
Yeah,
like, really want to, like card games
or hats, and the easy way to get money from players.
Look, I snark, but I actually am happy to see that they take a firm stance on, as a studio, doing, like, staying true to their creative vision.
Oh,
and
yeah,
staying true to the projects they want to do. Like, we get it. We have a little bit of fun. We make some jokes, but it's important to have that. That's what makes the game special. Now, ultimately, the interview concludes with Hines talking about developers being able to achieve all kinds of cool new things when they move away from their bread and butter. He points to Horizon Zero Dawn specifically and how it was a game outside of Guerrilla's wheelhouse.
So basically, once again, as has been reiterated over and over, don't get your hopes up for Elder Scrolls 6 anytime soon, because Bethesda wants to try new things, and apparently they're fine trying to get even more money out of Skyrim and Fallout 4 for as long as they can.
Yeah, and to be fair as well, the free mods don't go away. They just have these paid ones as well. So there is that, which I kind of understand in Bethesda's defense, but it does feel a little bit tone deaf to, I don't know, that they haven't made more tweaks or something to it, I guess, especially since they seem to keep breaking and requiring huge downloads. It's not the cleanest implementation. So, what do you guys think of Bethesda saying they're not really swayed by fan feedback? Let us know in the comments.
And for future updates on all things Bethesda, remember to like this video, and if you're new around here, subscribe to the know. About those two ideas, Hines said, unless it's the exact thing that they're so mad. About those two ideas, Hines said, unless it's the exact thing that they're all asking for, then yeah, you're going to run into some of...
It's okay.
I'm so mad at
I feel like
myself.
you're in your head.
I am in my head. I am in my head.